Hey friends, so today we are going to go over the Unit 8 circles review, okay? So a couple of things that I want you to remember before you get started on this, if you have not already started on it, is when you are trying to find circumference, there is two formulas you can use. If you have the radius, it is easier to use the formula c equals 2 pi r, okay? Because here you're using the radius, okay? If you have the diameter, it would be easier to use the formula c equals pi times diameter, okay? Now, when we're talking about area, the area to find a full, the formula to find the area of a full circle, that's what I tried to say, is going to be a equals pi r squared. But let's say you have a half circle, okay, or a semicircle, okay, that would be a equals 1/2 pi r squared. And then if you have, let's see if I can, there we go. And if you have a quarter circle or 1/4 of a circle, okay, you would have to make sure that your formula, says 1/4 pi r squared. Basically what you're doing for the half circle and the quarter circles, you're finding the area of a full circle, but if you have half a circle, you're going to divide that area by 2. If you have a quarter of a circle, you're going to divide that area by 4 to find just the area of the quarter circle. Another thing that you need to remember is that pi is approximately 3.14 or 3, and we like to use 3, okay? Okay, now, I also need you to remember radius is going to be from the center to the edge. Diameter is going to be edge to edge, okay? Alright, let's go ahead and get started on the first question, okay? Get this down at the top if you need to, okay? This will also be up and around the room for whenever you take the test so that it's easy to look for, okay? Now, if you are trying to find the circumference, like it's asking us here, of the cup, okay, here is going from center to edge. I know that this is radius. So if it's finding circumference, I'm going to use c equals 2 pi r. Okay, so c equals 2 pi r, and then I'm just going to substitute. Substitute means to basically plug in your information that you have. Pi is going to be 3, so I'm going to substitute or plug in 3. Radius is 6, so I'm going to plug in 6 or substitute 6, okay? Now all I have to do is c is equal to 2 times 3, which is 6 times 6, and I know that that is going to give me 36, and my answer is going to be 36 centimeters, okay? Alright, let's go to number 2. So use the ruler. So here, when you are going to use a ruler, and physically when you're using a ruler, you want to use whatever it's telling you to use. Here it's asking us to measure in centimeter, okay? This is the centimeter side right here, it tells you. So I'm going to use that the best I can. It's about right there. It's about 2 centimeters, okay? So we're going to label this 2 centimeters, and we're also going to label it radius, okay? Now, when you are taking the test online, okay, you're not going to have this physical. You don't ever want to measure what you have on your screen with a physical ruler like this. You're going to be given a tool on Eduphoria that's going to allow you to measure if you need to measure, okay? Just FYI so that you know that that's there, okay? All right, let's go ahead and move forward. So here, it's asking for area, okay? So our formula for a full circle is going to be pi r squared, okay? Pi is going to be 3, radius is 2, and that would be 2 squared, okay? Remember that we have to expand 2 squared, which is going to be 2 times 2, okay? Now that's not 2 times the exponent 2, that is 2 times itself 2, okay? Now 3 times 4, which is going to give me an area of 12 centimeters squared, and this is our final answer. Okay, get that down if you need to, pause if you need to. I'm going to go ahead and move on to number 3. Okay, So the diameter of circle A is 6 inches. Okay, it's telling me diameter. The diameter of circle B is 9 inches. Okay, and it's asking us to find the difference between the circumference. So it's clearly asking me to find circumference of A and B, but the final answer is the difference between the two. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to split something like this. Okay, this is going to be difference, and this is going to be circle A, and this is circle B. Okay, alright, so circle, we're finding circumference. Remember, we have diameter, and if we have diameter, if I go back up here, we would use C equals pi times diameter. Okay, so C equals pi times diameter. I know that pi is going to be 3. Diameter of circle A is 6 inches. Okay, so that is going to be 3 times 6, which is 18 inches. Okay, now looking at circle B, again, we're going to use pi times diameter because it is giving me diameter of circle B, which is 9 inches. So that is going to be 3, which is pi, times 9, which is the diameter. 3 times 9 is going to be 27 inches. So now all I'm going to do is subtract these two numbers because I'm finding the difference. Okay, and then I know that 17 minus 8 is going to be 9. Okay, so that means that my final answer is going to be 9 inches. Okay, that is the difference between circle A and circle B's circumference. Alright, let's look at number 4. So number 4 is saying that the circumference of a circle is C centimeters. Okay, circumference is C centimeters. We're not sure yet. Okay, the diameter of the circle is 18 centimeters. Okay, it's wanting an expression with the value of pi. That's something else that you need to remember. Let's go back up to the top. I want you to write pi is equal to circumference divided by diameter. This is the expression of pi. If you take the circumference and divide it by the diameter of that circle, you are going to get pi. It doesn't matter what circle you have, how big the circle is. It doesn't matter the circumference or the diameter. If you take the circumference of that circle and the diameter of that circle and you divide circumference by diameter, you will get pi. Okay, so let's go back over here. So that's what it's asking you here. It's asking you for the expression of pi is equal to circumference divided by diameter. So if we put that together with the information that we have right here, it would be C divided by diameter, which is 18. The only thing that we have similar to this is D. Answer choice D. Okay, let's go to 5. Pause if you need to. Alright, 5 says Jennifer painted a tabletop that is shaped like a circle. Okay, so let's draw a circle. The radius of the tabletop is 6 feet. So radius, so from center to edge, that is 6 feet. Okay. It says which measurement is closest to the area of the tabletop. So we're trying to find area. Area of a full circle is going to be A equals pi r squared. Okay. If you wrote everything that I wrote at the top of my paper, then you will see that if we're trying to find area of a full circle, that is going to be pi r squared. Pi is 3. You can use 3.14 if you want to. You will get an exact answer. Okay, and then radius, center to edge, is going to be 6 squared. Okay, now remember we have to expand 6 squared, so that's going to be 3 times 6 times 6. 6 times 6 is going to be 36. And now what I have to do is multiply 36 times 3. 6 times 3 is 18. 3 times 3 is 9 plus 1 is 10. So my final answer is going to be 108 feet squared. Okay. Alright. So here, circumference of the circle in feet. So here it's asking for circumference. Let's look at what we have here. In this circle, it is given us radius. That means if you look at the top where we wrote circumference, we have the radius, so we're going to use C equals 2 pi r. Okay? C equals 2 pi, I know is going to be 3, and radius is 5. So 2 times 3 is 6, times 5 is 30 feet. Okay, and that's it. Now, I'm going to speak on this real quickly, only because it was brought up. If you want to use pi times diameter always, even if you have radius or diameter in here, you can. Just know that if you have radius, you need the diameter if you're going to use pi times diameter, because that's what it's asking for. So you would have to take 5 times 2, and that would give you 10. So if you're using pi times diameter, you would use 3 times 10. That would give you 30 feet. Okay? So there's 2 ways that you can solve it. Okay? Now, if this way right here confuses you because you're not going to remember to do this part, then just use what you're given, plug it into the formula. Okay? Alright, pause if you need to. I'm going to go to page 2. Alright, on page 2, looking at 7, what is the area of the circle in square feet? So we're trying to find area, and the formula for that is pi r squared. Okay, now here I have diameter. I don't want diameter because my formula doesn't say anywhere in here diameter. It says radius. So I need to take 18 and divide it by 2, which is going to be 9. Okay, that means that the radius is 9 feet. Okay, now I can go ahead and plug in or substitute all the values I have. I know that pi is 3, radius is going to be 9 squared. 9 times 9, I have to expand that. Okay. I was writing that one funny. Okay, 9 times 9 is going to be 81 times 3. So now all I have to do is 81 times 3. I know that 3 times 1 is 3. 8 times 3 is 24. So my final answer is going to be 243 feet squared. Okay? Alright. Remember, if you are finding the area and you have diameter edge to edge, you don't want to use that number. You want to take that number, divide it by 2 to find the radius, and then plug that in. Okay? Number 8. Rachel is building a circular garden that has a radius of 8 feet. So, circular garden, radius of 8 feet. Okay, let's draw our little picture. And she wants to put fence in it around. So what we're looking at is the circumference. Okay? And it also says how long is the fence. Fence is the outside, not the inside part. And here, let's decide. Remember, circumference, we have the radius. We're going to use C equals 2 pi r. Okay? 2, I know that pi can be 3.14 or 3, and radius is going to be 8 feet. Okay? 2 times 3 is 6 times 8, and if I do 6 times 8, I'm going to get 48. Okay, 48 feet. Now, if I were to have used 3.14, it's going to be the same thing. It's just going to be a little bit higher because here we are rounding down. We're estimating it, right? So here, let's go ahead and do that. I would first do 2 times 8 if I'm dealing with 3.14. So 2 times 8 would be 16. Just double checking. Yes. Okay, so 16 times 3.14. Okay, and if I multiply that, what I get is 50 and 24 feet. Okay, so as you can tell, here is what I got the first time with just using 3, 48, and then I did 3.14, I get 50.24. It's useful to understand both ways, okay? There's no difference. The only thing is we are estimating down here. We're rounding down. So this answer is going to be a little bit smaller than this. If you are giving a question that has multiple choice questions, then I suggest that you use 3 and then pick the one that's closest, okay? Make sure that it's higher, not smaller, okay? Now, if you have an entry box on the test or the STAR test, I do suggest that you use 3.14 so you get the exact answer, okay? All right, let's go to number 9. Pause if you need to, by the way. Let's go to number 9. Samantha won a gold medal at a track meet. The medal has a radius of 4 centimeters. So, medal, it has a radius of 4 centimeters, okay? And it's asking for area. So, A equals pi r squared. A equals pi, which can be 3 or 3.14. We can use 3.14 for this one. Times radius, which is 4 squared. I know that this is going to be 3.14 times 4 times 4. 4 times 4 is 16. Okay, so now all I have to do is 3.14 times 16. 6 times 4 is 24. 6, 7, 8. 3 times 6 is 18. 4 here, 1 here, and then 3 here. So here we add 9, 10, 11, 12, 8, 9, 10, 3, 4, 5. So area is going to equal 50 and 24 centimeters squared. Okay? Okay. Now, let's go to number 10. John bought a new bike tire. The radius of the new tire is 10 and 1/2. Now, for this one, remember its radius, that's half of the circle, is going to be 10 and 1/2, but I can change 1/2 to 0.5. And that is radius. It's asking for circumference, so I can use C equals 2 pi r. Okay? Now, C equals 2 times 3 times 10.5. Okay, we're going to round down to 3 for this one. C equals 2 times 3, which is 6, times 10.5. Okay, 5 times 6 is 30. 6 times 0 is 0, but add the 3, so we bring that down. 6 times 1 is 6, and I have 1 digit behind the decimal, so that would be a circumference of 63 inches. Okay, that's our final answer. All right, let's go to number 11. Okay, Joey has a bike with 2 wheels. So there's a bike, there is 2 wheels, okay, and each wheel has a diameter of 11 inches. So from edge to edge, it is 11 inches. Okay, both of these are the diameter. Okay, and then it's asking for the total area of the 2 wheels. So when I'm looking at this, I see, I don't want to do double the work, so I'm just going to find the area of 1 and then multiply that by 2 since I have 2 that I need to find for. Okay, so here we're finding regular area of 1, pi r squared. Area is equal to 3, which is pi. Now I have to take 11. I don't need the diameter, I need the radius. So I have to take 11 and divide that by 2. Okay, 2 can go into 11 5 times. That would be 10. And then add a decimal and 0, 2 can go into 10 5 times. So it would be 5.5. Okay, now don't forget that's squared. I almost forgot. Alright, so that means that I'm going to have 5.5 times 5.5. I closed it. Let's open it back up. Sorry guys. Okay, 5.5 times 5.5. Okay, alright. I'm going to do 5.5 on my calculator just to make it a little bit easier, okay? 5.5 times 5.5, and it's more so for time purposes. Area is equal to 3 times 30.25. Now all I have to do here is 30.25 times 3. 5 times 3 is 15, 6, 7, 0 times 3 is 0, 3 times 3 is 9. Right now what I have is 90.75 inches. This right here is 1 wheel. I need 2 wheels, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to take 90.75 and I'm going to multiply that by 2. So 5 times 2 is 10, 14 plus 1 is 15, 2 times 0 is 0, add the 1, 9 times 2 is 18. So here I have 2 digits, so that is going to be 2 wheels is going to be 181.5 inches squared. I forgot to add the square there. This is my final answer. Okay? Alright. I know this one's a bit of a doozy, but remember, if you are having two circles that you have to find the area for or the circumference for, you find one, multiply it by 2, you get your final answer. Okay? Alright. Let's look at 12. The circumference of a circle is c inches. The diameter of the circle is 12 inches. Which expression best represents the value of pi? So remember, the value of pi is an expression, or the expression of finding the value of pi can be found by c divided by diameter. Circumference divided by diameter. Okay? We don't have circumference, so c stays like just as is, but we do have that the diameter is 12 inches. So we would put c divided by 12. That matches answer choice D. Okay? Pause if you need to. I'm going to go ahead and move to page 3. Alright. So here, number 13. Lisa has a circular swimming pool. The pool has a diameter of 26. So edge to edge is 26 feet. Okay? This is the diameter. It's saying which measurement is closest to the circumference. So remember, C equals pi times diameter, because we have the diameter and we're trying to find circumference. Okay? 3 can be pi. We're going to use 3. And diameter is 26. All I have to do is 26 times 3. 6 times 3 is 18. 2 times 3 is 6 plus 1 is 78. And that would be feet. Done. Okay? Depending on if you have diameter or radius, it'll help you to pick the formula that you want to use, unless you know how to use pi times diameter either way. Okay? Alright, 14. The diagram shows the radius of the circular, so this right here is radius. Okay? Which measurement is closest to the circumference? So that means I'm going to find which formula of circumference I'm going to use. If I have radius, I'm using 2 times pi times radius. Okay? 2, pi is going to be 3, radius is going to be 4.2. Okay? 2 times 3 is 6 times 4.2. Okay? Alright, so now here 4.2 times 6, 6 times 2 is 12, 4 times 6 is 24, plus 1 is 25. So my final answer is going to be 25.2 inches. And this is circumference, it doesn't need squared. Okay, now let's go to 15. Pause if you need to. 15 and 16, alright? So 15 is talking about this wheel right here that has a diameter, okay? Edge to edge, okay? It is going to be 30 inches, okay? It's saying that the tire rotates 100 times. So it's just asking about its rotating, like what's it going to, I don't know how to make a good comparison about that, but I think you guys remember that I talked about that paper plate where you cut the circumference off after you shaded it in. That's basically what they're trying to find out. So they're not trying to find out area, they're trying to find out circumference. Okay? So here, we are going to use C equals, and we have diameter, so pi times diameter would be easier to work with. Pi can be 3.14 this time, times diameter, which is 30. Okay? All I have to do is 3.14 times 30. 0, 0, 0, 0 again. 3 times 4 is 12. 3 times 1 is 3, plus 1 is 4. 3 times 3 is 9. And then add my 2 decimals. I get 94.2. Let me just check that just to make sure. 30 times 3.1. 30 times 3.14. Yes. Okay. And that is going to be inches. It's circumference, so I leave it as is without the squared. Okay, that would be my answer. Oops, I almost forgot something. Okay, let's make sure that we pay attention to this right here. If we do what? Go rotate that tower 100 times. So this is not my final answer. My final answer is actually going to be, if I take 94.2 times 100, okay, what am I going to get? I am going to get C equals 9,420. Okay. This right here is my final answer. Sorry, guys. Okay. All right. I hope that made sense. Okay. There's another one that we have that's similar to that. We'll get to that in a little bit. Okay, so here, the three inner circles are congruent. Which measurement is closest to the area of the largest outside circle in square centimeters? So here you have 3 inside. Okay. It's not asking for the area of these. It's asking for the whole circle. Okay, for the area out, for the circle of the outside circle. Okay, so I know that this one is going to be 6. This one's also got to be 6, and this one's going to be 6. So if I had all of those 3, that's 6 times 3, which is going to be 18. That means that the diameter is 18 centimeters of the full circle. Okay, so we're finding area. So A equals pi r squared. Okay, 3 times. Now, I don't need diameter, I need radius, so that means I have to take 18 divided by 2. That's going to be 9 centimeters. So 9 squared. 9 times 9 is 81. Okay. So what I'm going to have is 3 times 81. 81 times 3, 8 times 3 is 24. So my final answer is 243 centimeters squared. Okay. All right. Let's take a look at number 17. Pause up here if you need to. Let's go to number 17 and 18. Okay. So Mr. Kelly has a tarp in the shape of a circle. Again, draw a circle if you need to. The tarp has a radius, so center to edge, of 7 feet. So 7 feet. This is radius. Okay. What is the circumference? So if I have circumference and if I'm trying to find circumference and I have radius, I'm going to use C equals 2 pi r. Okay? 2 times pi, which is 3, and then radius, which is 7. 2 times 3 is 6, and 6 times 7 is 42. Okay? 42 feet. No squared because it is circumference. Okay. All right, now which definition describes pi? Remember, pi ratio is circumference divided by diameter. Okay, so it's circumference to the diameter. The ratio of the circumference of a circle to its radius, that's wrong. There's no radius in there. The ratio of the circumference of a circle to its diameter, maybe. Let's put a question mark there. Okay. Here, the radius of a circle times 2 times 3.14? No. The diameter of a circle times 2? No. 2 times? No. Okay, so the only one that's our answer is B. Circumference to diameter. Okay? All right, pause if you need to. Let's go ahead and move on to the last page. All right, let's look at 19 and 20. So Robert received a cookie cake for his birthday. The cake has a diameter of 12 inches. So edge to edge, it is 12 inches. This is the diameter. Okay, so what is the area? So that means we're going to use A equals pi r squared. Okay, let's use 3.14 times radius, which is, radius is not 12. The diameter is 12, right? So what do we do with that diameter? We take 12 divided by 2. That is going to give us 6. So 6 squared. All right. Okay. Let's expand this. 3.14 times 6 times 6. That is going to be 3.14 times 36. Okay, 3.14 times 36. 6 times 4 is 24. 6, 7, 8. 3 times 6 is 18. 0 here. 3 times 4 is 12. 3 times 1 is 3 plus 1 is 4. 3 times 3 is 9. 4, 8, 9, 10, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 9, 10, 11. So what we get here, there's 2 digits here, so it goes right here, is 113 400 inches squared. This is my final answer. Now, if I were to have done 36 times 3 instead of 3.14. I would have gotten 108. Okay? Alright, so that's what you would have gotten. Okay? Okay, so let's go ahead and go to number 20. Okay, if the diameter is 18 inches, so both of these have a diameter of 18 inches. Okay? We are trying to find the area of both. Again, this is similar to another one that we did where we had the two wheels. I'm going to find the area of one and then multiply it by 2. Okay, so area is equal to pi r squared. We're going to use 3 for this one. And I know that the diameter is 18. I don't need the diameter. I want the radius. I'm going to take 18 divided by 2, which is going to give me 9. Okay, so 9 squared. Now I know that 9 squared is going to be the same as 9 times 9. Area is equal to 3 times 81. And then here, if I do 81 times 3, 3 and 8 times 3 is 24. So I get 243 inches squared for one pizza. I need 2 pizzas. So I'm going to take 243 and I'm going to multiply that by 2. 2 times 3 is 6, 4 times 2 is 8, 2 times 2 is 4. So in the end, my final answer for 2 pizzas is going to be 486 inches squared. This is my final answer. Okay. Alright, pause if you need to. We're going to move on to 21 and 22. Alright, so look at 21. Now, we're finally here. We finally get to use what we have over here with half circle and quarter circle, okay? We're at the end, so we're going to get to use those two. Now, this one here, the formula that you're going to use is going to be A equals 1/2 pi r squared, okay? Here it's asking you to measure it, all right? Measure the semicircle, find the area, so we're trying to find that, We're going to use centimeters. So from here to here, let's say that's 3 centimeters, okay? Okay, so 3 centimeters. Area is equal to 1/2. I know it's hard to see. This would be, pi would be 3. We're going to use 3 instead of 3.14. And then the radius is 3, but that's squared, so 3 squared. Alright, now area is equal to 1/2 times 3 times 3 times 3. Okay, I know that 3 times 3 is 9. Okay, now 3 times 9 is going to be 27. Okay, so I'm going to rewrite this. Area is equal to 1/2 times 27. Alright, now what you can do here is you can either take 27 and multiply by 0.5, okay, or take 27 and divide it by 2. 2 can go into 2 one time, okay, and then 2 can go into 7 3 times, and 2 can go into 10 5 times. So the answer, the final answer would be 13.5 centimeters squared. Okay, running out of space here. Alright, hopefully that helps. Alright, let's go to number 22. Okay, so 22 is similar to the one that says 100 times that it rotates. Okay, if the radius of the wheel is 4, so from here to here, that is 4 centimeters, or excuse me, 4 inches. Okay, how far can the wheel travel in 20 rotations? So this is asking for circumference. Okay, so here we're going to do C equals, because we have radius, 2 times pi times radius. Okay, 2 times pi, which is 3, radius, which is 4. Okay, 2 times 3 is 6, times 4, that is going to give me 24 inches. Okay, but that right here is just one rotation. I need 20 rotations. So what I have to do is 24 times 20, okay? 0, 0, 0 here. 2 times 4 is 8. 2 times 2 is 4. So I get 480 inches. This is 20 rotations. Okay. 20 rotations will be 480 inches. Okay. That is how much the circumference is. All right, let's go to number 23. Which definition describes pi? Remember, pi formula is going to be pi is equal to circumference divided by diameter. Okay. The square root of a circle? Absolutely not. The ratio of the radius of a circle? There's nothing about radius in this formula. The radius of a circle times 3.14? Again, nothing about a radius. The ratio of the circumference of a circle to its diameter? Circumference to diameter? Yes. Okay. Last one. We get to use the quarter circle formula. So here it's asking, it says square inches. If it says square inches, that's going to be area, my friends. So area is equal to 1/4 pi r squared. Okay. Now, it's saying that Bryson is giving his little brother this little piece right here. Okay, quarter of a pizza. It's saying that the diameter is going to be 10 inches. Basically what it's saying is from here to here is 10 inches, okay? We only want this little piece right here. We're trying to find out what this side is. So what we do is we take the diameter, we divide it by 2 to get the radius. So that means the radius is going to be 5 because 10 divided by 2 is 5, all right? Now we have what we need, okay? The radius is 5. This is what we're using along with pi, which is 3 or 3.14. Okay. Area is equal to 1/4. We're going to use 3 today for this one. And then 5 squared. Okay. Remember, 5 squared means 5 times 5. Okay. And then 5 times 5 is going to be 25. Okay. Now let's multiply 25 times 3. That is going to be 75. So far what I have is 1/4 times 75. Now here, you can finish solving this one 2 ways. You can either do 75 times 0.25 or 75 divided by 4. Okay, if I do 75 divided by 4, let me move this a little bit. Okay, or 75 divided by 4. 4 can go into 7 one time, okay? 7 minus 4 would be 3. That would bring 5 down. 4 can go into, let's see, 4 times 6 is 24. 4 times 7 is 28. Let's try 4 times 8, which is 32. So 4 times 8 is 32. 5 minus 2 is 3. Add a decimal and a 0. 4 can go into 30. 7 times, that would be 28. I'm running out of space. 30 minus 28 is 2. And that'll be 20, which will be 5. So my final answer, I ran out of space, that was terrible, is 18.75. Okay, and I know that it's 8.75 because here my decimal goes up. Okay, and this is inches squared. Okay, we're done. I hope that that helps you for the test. Please take your time to study. Good luck on this. You've got it. Bye. Oh no, where'd my mouse go? Bye guys.